Hello and welcome to another episode of Montclair News Lab. I'm Stefano Kadishi.
And I'm Erin Lawler. Here's what's coming up this week.
First, how the food pantry is combating hunger on campus.
We can eat when we're hungry, and it's like we spending so much money on food elsewhere.
Next, we take a look at how students are adjusting to campus life without masks.
I'm more likely to get sick now because I'm not really wearing my mask unless I'm sick.
And later, arrested in London, Issa Winek shares her unexpected encounter at the UK border.
And they told me that they regret to inform me, but I'm officially under the arrest internationally in the UK for carrying an explosive device.
College students have a lot of things to worry about. Where to get their next meal should not be one of them. I took a look at how Montclair State University keeps their students fed. Food insecurity. It's an issue for college students around the world, but here at Montclair State, students find safety in the Red Hawk Food Pantry. Nay Ratliff is a senior this year and has just discovered the pantry.
We can eat when we're hungry, and it's like we spending so much money on food elsewhere, and we have it here free.
In 2016, Montclair State was one of the first universities in the country to open a food pantry, providing food, water, and hygiene supplies for all students, staff, and faculty.
The community is helping, so that helps us a lot. And then there's people that are unfortunate; they can't afford the food, so coming here actually helps people. Probably people leave here with a smile.
According to the USDA, nationally, there is a 10.2% rate of food insecurity. According to a Montclair Foodscape audit, at MSU, it's more than 4 times that. This is twice as much as a pre-pandemic levels. Adela Caceres works at the Office of Social Justice and Diversity. She oversees the Red Hawk Pantry along with her team of graduate students. They are working to change the perception of food pantries.
Destigmatizing sometimes, what pantries, kind of like the reputation of what pantries are about. So us being available, being, a welcoming space for anyone, on this campus, I think that in itself, is helping will help, in terms of, getting the word out about it's okay to ask for help. These are the resources that are available. And I think that in itself is going to have an impact on the larger, community and society.
Working at the pantry are graduate students Sarah Park and Meet Scenaria. Sarah helps the folks plan to cook the food they get.
Students, so they can get recipe and then see the menu and the recipe, and then they can pick some ingredients from here.
Some people they feel food security on campus because depend on the religious purpose. Some student I know, they are vegetarian. They can't find vegetarian food over there.
The food pantry, taking hunger off students' shoulders and filling their stomachs. The Red Hawk Pantry always welcomes donations. To find out how you can donate as well as hours and other important information, visit this link.
You know what, Erin? Speaking of things that students have been dealing with, they've obviously been dealing with hunger, but also they've been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic since 2020. This is the first time since March of 2020 where Montclair has been somewhat getting back to normal. Last week, cases were the lowest they have been this semester at 31 cases.
According to Montclair's revised COVID protocols, most students don't have to wear masks on campus. Henry Tai updates us on how students feel about returning to a maskless campus.
With 93% of Montclair State students vaccinated, the university has joined others across the country in lifting its mask mandates. But how do students feel about this change? Well, for some students, losing the mask is a real relief.
I feel like it's definitely easier not having to wear the mask and stuff. It's a lot more free, more people, so yeah, definitely feels a lot better this semester.
For others, the old normal brings more than just good feelings.
People are getting sick again, not just with COVID, but other stuff, and it's kind of I'm more likely to get sick now because I'm not really wearing my mask unless I'm sick.
Even with Montclair rolling back plenty of COVID policies, some students are still at odds with the university.
You can't dorm still if you're not vaccinated, so I gotta commute now.
Dr. Stephanie Silvera is an epidemiologist and professor at Montclair State. She warns us not to forget about COVID entirely.
we don't want people to think is that COVID is over and that COVID isn't still deadly or harmful.
For students looking to play it safe, Dr. Silvera has some advice.
Pay attention to things like ventilation. Ask the professor to keep those windows open and try to sit near one of them.
But for many, keeping covered up is still the best option.
I mainly wear to keep in mind for others rather than myself.
From old normal to new normal, or something in between, for Montclair News Lab, I'm Henry Ty.
Student Appreciation Week will have campus buzzing from October 17th to the 21st. With over 50 events from cider and donuts in Castor Theater to karaoke night in the Student Center. You can find a full list of the events on Montclair State Engage.
Montclair State University has been recognized by U.S. News and World Report's annual college rankings for exceeding graduation expectations. Anish Patel gives us a peek at how the university made this happen and how students are benefiting.
Hunter Ayala is a Montclair State senior. He has been heavily involved on campus and is currently the president of the MSU Brotherhood La Hermandad. He is a first-generation college student and is scheduled to graduate on time this May.
Being the first in my family to go to college was a dream come true, a blessing and a testament to the hard work of my ancestors and the people before me, especially my parents, my aunts, uncles, grandparents, and loved ones.
According to U.S. News and World Report's annual college rankings, Montclair State's 6-year graduation rate of 67% exceeds the expected 49% graduation rate by over 18%. This 18% is the 5th largest jump by a national public university. Being a part of the next graduating class is a huge achievement for Ayala.
For me, it means the world. It means all the hard work that I put in high school, middle school, even elementary school, being able to walk off one day, God willing, in May of 2023, with that degree in my hand, is going to mean everything.
Besides Montclair State's graduation rate ranking, U.S. News and World Report placed Montclair 21st out of 440 universities in student social mobility rankings compared to the national average of 220. The Educational Opportunity Fund, or EOF program, headed by Dr. Rajan Gordon, is a key reason why.
So the EOF program is a program that started in 1968 in the state of New Jersey, which allows low-income, highly motivated scholars admission into college by providing them with different resources that they may not be able to have.
Many of those resources relate to student funding.
So providing full funding for winter courses for scholars, providing summer funding and gap funding for EOF scholars in the summer, being able to pay for books, being able to support students with housing during the summer and winter months.
The EOF program attracts students concerned about college affordability. Karan Patel, a freshman information technology major, was one of them.
I saw that I could get a good education for an affordable price and with the degree that I wanted.
Karan was helped by Montclair State's Summer Bridge program, which offers long-distance commuters 7 summer credits for free.
It was 2 hours of work, and then you would go to lunch, come back, and it's another hour of lab. It was free, and it just gave me a head start in the school year.
The rankings and the students behind those rankings. From Montclair News Lab, I'm Anish Patel.
You may remember Issa Winek, our international correspondent from last semester when she was studying abroad in England. Today, she's back with a story no one expected to hear. Let's just say things got a little out of hand.
Good day to you, Montclair News Lab. Now I have brought you many interesting stories as your international correspondent from the UK. But, unfortunately, I didn't bring to you one, and that was when I was arrested and detained at Heathrow International Airport in London. Let's get into that today. So I was coming back to the UK after spending the Easter holiday with my family. I really wanted to stay and come back to News Lab, but I had final exams and certain endeavors to take care of just to put a pin on my study abroad experience. And I had one very little, insignificant device with me, which was a pink fluorescent pepper spray that my father gave to me. 2 officers approached me with guns, and they told me that they regret to inform me but I'm officially under the arrest internationally in the UK for carrying an explosive device. So I'm carrying all my bags, being escorted by these 2 tall police officers. While everyone is looking at me, what did this little girl do to be officially arrested like such? I was terrified. And of course, I cooperated with the officers because how would I get back to the UK and finish my studies? I was taken to a private room where Border Patrol officers explained to me that this was simply a miscommunication and that I had nothing to worry about. However, they still had to run a full background check on me, searching through my belongings and asking me very particular questions. I gave over this pepper spray, which they said that they set it ablaze so I can no longer officially wage war on Newcastle, but I'm officially de-arrested. I could say I have no records of this. It's almost like it never happened, and I don't plan on it happening ever again. So remember guys, stay safe and be careful when traveling internationally. Once again, from Montclair News Lab, I am Isa Winek.
That's a wrap for this week's episode of Montclair News Lab. New episodes stream regularly on Hawk Plus. Until next time, I'm Stefano Kadishi.
And I'm Erin Lawler. See you next week.